The Dwyer Group is based in Central Texas. It has 7 service-based franchise brands, and recently the company has had some leadership changes at its executive level. It's giving us a reason today to talk about what it's like to be an executive and a mom. Dina Dwyer-Owens is the company's executive chairwoman. Mary Kennedy Thompson is the executive vice president. I appreciate both of you taking time from your busy schedules to be here with us today.
We're happy to be here. Thank you.
Dina, I understand that these changes really came from you. You gave up the CEO title, which I think not very many CEOs would want to do. Why did you want to do these changes?
There's a class that I teach to all new franchisees and associates called Design Your Life, and it's really all about having clarity about what's most important in your life and then having balance in the what we call the 6 areas of life. So for really the last 5 years, I've been targeting this executive chairwoman's position for many reasons. First is Mike Bidwell, our new CEO and president, who's been around the company for almost 30 years, has earned the right to run the day-to-day. He is better at it than I am. And we had to wait a little while, though, because Mary, who is running our largest brand, Mr. Rooter, was the person that we spotted as the next one who could support Mike as he went into the CEO role. We needed somebody who could take on some of his responsibilities, so she had to build her team below her. So timing was perfect. You know, you set clear goals, clear targets, and then you work hard to live those, and here you are.
Now, for a lot of people who are not in the business corporate world, all of these titles just sound like extra other vice president, executive, all these things. But what does it mean to you? Why was this title, this job position, something that you had set your sights on?
It allows me to do what I think I do best for the company, which is really all about managing the culture. They say I'm the head cheerleader at the Dwyer Group, so it's a matter of making sure we keep the culture special. We're tapping on $1 billion in system-wide sales at the Dwyer Group. And when we get to $1.5 billion and to $2 billion, somebody's got to be responsible for managing that culture, and that's something that I want to own and be responsible for. But I also love the very high-level strategic opportunities, whether it's buying a new company that we bring into the Dwyer Group or just very high-level strategies. And Mary can talk about the executive vice president responsibility.
It sounds like you especially are going to be taking on a lot more work, Mary. Is that right?
It is right, but I'll tell you, Dina hit on it perfectly. I have this wonderful team that's already doing the things they should be doing. I've been able to hand off the baton and let them run with it. And now that they're running with it, that allows me to step up. And I really see my position as a player coach. I'm going to work alongside my fellow presidents. And we have all these great leaders within our brands, and every leader brings something special to the table. And what I want to do is tap into all of those special strong strengths, and I want to tap into all those opportunities where one brand may be doing something much better than another brand or have an idea that we could bring across all of our brands.
Both of your children are grown or very close to grown. How does your experience as a mom play into who you are as an executive? Mary, I'll start with you.
I am so glad I'm a mom as a leader. A lot of what I call upon to be a leader, I learned as a mother. I really believe in leading with love, and leading with love doesn't mean giving someone everything they want. It means giving them what they need, and there's a big difference between that. And as a mom, I got to learn that that type of love with discipline, with care, with caring more about what happens to that person than what happens to me, that it made me a better, stronger leader.
Oh, that's a great answer. Can you top that one?
I don't think so.
Sorry, I caught you at a bad time.
Yeah, it's a little tickle that showed up, right. Now, I think Mary's right. You know, being a mother also causes us to be very collaborative because, you know, my kids are our best negotiators. So I learn a lot of sales training from my own kids because they're always negotiating with me. But, you know, it really just keeps me balanced and being thoughtful about how do I build this household. And without my husband, of course, I couldn't do any of this. He is the stronghold behind my family. But it's been so much fun, really, figuring out how to do what I love in the business world and at the same time working hard to be the best mom that I could be, and certainly not a perfect mom, but the best mom that I can be. And it really comes down to just planning and prioritizing.
And we're going to talk about that in just a minute, the best mom versus the perfect mom. We got to take a quick commercial break. Stay with us. More from Moms Every Day after this. If you are a woman looking to climb the professional ladder, we've got 2 great examples, great role models in the studio today. Dina Dwyer-Owens and Mary Kennedy Thompson are both executives with the Dwyer Group. We were talking before the break about perfect mom versus great mom. What advice do you give moms in my position, starting our careers, starting our families? What advice do you have?
Yeah, I would look to that whole thing about balance, and we all have the same 24 hours in a day, and take a close look at your schedule and say, where can I carve out time that's focused on the business or the professional side of my life, and then carve out time that's focused on my family, and then in between, squeeze in those extra things, whether it's going to meet your kids at school for lunch, or figuring out that Sundays are just going to be for family and faith time. So it's really about planning and prioritizing your schedule.
Mary, you say that for you there's a difference between perfect and excellent.
Yes.
Those sound very similar to me.
I believe that perfect is the road to ruin. Perfection isn't real. It doesn't exist because you're trying to make something that just doesn't happen. But excellence is a habit that you do. In fact, Aristotle said that we are what we repeatedly do. So it's finding that time. I learned a very powerful word that made me a much better mother and a much better executive, and that's no. And when I learned, and it took me a while to learn to say, no, this is not going to spend my time on that right now, because my priority is on my child who is in soccer or going to my child's play. Both my children did drama because we do drama in my family. And so being able to have that time. And when I was a businesswoman and had my businesses, I was a franchisee. I came into franchising as a franchisee first. I loved it because I might work 12-hour days, but I chose which 12 hours I worked. And it was really important for me to be there for my children and to have that time. And learning to say no at the right time and to say it without being embarrassed or without apologizing gave me an opportunity to be a better mom and a better executive.
Dina, we talk a lot on this show about how much we love living in Central Texas. Do you think that your position now leads some to Central Texas? I know that the culture at the Dwyer Group is different than a lot of the big Fortune 500 companies. Do you think that as a mom you could be where you are today in New York City, something like that?
I think it'd be a lot more challenging. What's interesting is the culture we've created in Waco, Texas attracts people like Mary Kennedy Thompson. We target the people we want to have work at the Dwyer Group, so we're very purposeful about that. And we have found that anybody we really wanted to be part of our organization, we've brought in, and most of the time to Waco, Texas, and now they don't want to leave Waco, Texas, because it's very friendly. It's a very friendly community. We can get to the big cities pretty easily, but people love coming home to Waco.
8 years ago, I came running to Waco, not for Waco, but for the Dwyer Group. I love our code of values. We call it living rich with respect, integrity, a customer focus, and my personal favorite, having fun in the process. And I came running for that, and I have fallen in love with Waco, and I don't think they'll be able to blast me out of Waco.
Mary, I wanted to make sure that we did also get to mention you are a veteran, a former Marine.
Yes.
What advice do you have for other military families who are in awe of what you've been able to build?
Well, we have this great program in franchising that was actually founded by Don Dwyer Sr., Dina's dad, called VetFran. It was founded in 1991. Right after the Gulf War, and he wanted to give back to our servicemen and women who have, given to our country and give them a power to prosper. And so franchisors across the United States, we have 627 franchising companies like McDonald's, like the Dwyer Group, like Two Men in a Truck, who offer their best discount to veterans who are coming into franchising. We also have a great program called Operation Enduring Opportunity, and we partnered with the First Lady, and she had a program hiring our heroes. And originally, she and her chief of staff came to us and said, to the franchising community, and said, we really would like to hire 100,000 veterans. And we crunched our numbers and came back and said, we think we can do 80,000 of that 100,000 by 2014. By the end of last year, by our last count, franchising had hired 155,000 veterans, and the Dwyer Group more than 600 veterans in that time frame.
And put more than 5,100 veterans into their own businesses.
Yeah,
which is so VetFran's a great opportunity for them. They can just go to vetfran.com, and there's a portal that will share all the information with them.
Well, ladies, I felt like I could ask you hundreds more questions. I appreciate you taking time to be here with us today. Thanks so much.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Stay with us. We've got your full forecast after this break.
Who are your professional role models? Tell Moms Every Day at 4 by emailing Emily@momseveryday.com. Calling 254-741-5836 or finding Moms Every Day on Facebook.